this.
Okay.
Ready?
Yeah, okay.
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 All right. So I'm ready. 1, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hey there, it's Elke.
I'm Jen, and welcome to another episode of the Creative and Ambitious Entrepreneur Podcast. And in this episode, we are interviewing one of our very, very special students who has done amazing things on Zazzle and is one of our top students, Christine. And we're welcoming her today, and we're going to do interview-style podcast where we're going to ask her a couple questions about her journey on Zazzle and the things that she's really enjoyed about our courses and learning from us.
And I'm just like smiling ear to ear because Christine is one of the best success stories that you could ever imagine, having someone come into your course world, because she started out with working on Zazzle for 2 years and making about $130 to her name. So that's, it was great. But because I actually made only $90 in my first year. So, but then Christine said, hey, this course has come out, which is what Jen and I initially had this one course, we call it the 7 Days to Success course. Christine just hopped on that, and the rest is history, because from then on she's been getting our training, staying in our community, just taking in everything she can possibly get, because it was working for her. In her first year, I'm going to look at the numbers, she made $3,800 instead of $130, right? So with our help. Then in the second year, $33,000, so that's like a tenfold increase. Fabulous. And then she just didn't stop there. The next year in 2020, that's right, during COVID, there was a huge shift in her earnings. She tripled her income. She made over $100,000 in that 1 year, right? So now together, we're already talking about $140,000 that she made in 2 years while she was doing our training. Then, of course, she tops it all off by saying that she's on track to be hitting $200,000 in 2021. And we're just doing this in March, and she's already confident because her sales are so much better. And just big smiles. If you're listening to this on the podcast, I just made my smile even bigger because I can't even just grin far enough. This is what empowerment is all about. This is what we are talking about with regards to people. When you get the system that's needed, when you have the drive, because Christine has the drive, we're going to hear all about her story. It's amazing, actually. Then you can get things to work for you. And we can't make any income claim statements, just like, all of us here. We know that we have to do the work, but we also have to have the drive, and we have to have the right plan and the right strategies. And this is what made the difference for Christine. So today, welcome to Christine, and just enjoy this ride while you listen to Christine, because she's got an amazing story, and we can't wait to get started to help get those questions asked that we want to ask her, so that you can hear her story and just resonate with her. And hopefully you're incredibly inspired and empowered, and then you're going to end up watching or listening, because you're either on YouTube or you're listening on one of your favorite podcast platforms, and you're going to listen to this over and over again, and it's going to be your motivator to get you to the same level, because that's what we have hope for you. Okay, can you tell I'm pumped up?
Yeah.
I'm so excited. Okay. And it's mainly for Christine's success, right? Sure, I'm proud of the fact that we can help people so much, but the most important thing is Christine. And that's the key with our community. So we're just empowering everyone, just super happy for you, for your success. So what's the first question you want to ask?
Well, I just wanted to say maybe Christine can introduce herself and say a little bit about why you love Zazzle so much, and also just tell us a little bit about your journey and how you've come to this point. And we'll prompt you later on about...
we're going to get to we want more details than that. Yeah, not just one sentence, but yeah, we'll get into the details.
Okay, hi. Hi, Jen. Hi, Elke. Thank you for having me here. So I actually started in Zazzle. It was more for, a little background about myself. I'm just a regular person here in the Philippines. I actually don't have any design background, but I do have a business degree. I've been most of my career, it's basically just working with my family. So I guess that kind of started as a reason for me to start my online business, because I wanted something for myself, not just to be working for my family a lot. So one of the main reasons why I started with Zazzle, well, for Zazzle, it was more of an accident in my case, because before that was like 2015 or so, I was looking for places to really earn online, because at that point, at that time, like internet earning in the internet was like trending at that point, and I wanted something of that because I was looking for passive income. So even before, I was looking like how to start a blog, because that's how people were telling like, this is how to make money, you have to become a blogger and stuff, you have to start selling stuff online. So I think my first interaction with Zazzle was like, I was looking for blogs first, but then to supplement my blog income, I was looking for affiliate income, and that's how I started looking into Zazzle. Because I mean, it was more for affiliate income actually, because I was like typing like people that offer affiliates. So that's when I started affiliate income. And then at that point, I was like promoting stuff like, I think, Disney and other invitations and stuff, because I was running a blog, like a wedding blog before. So I was like putting in stuff in like wedding invitations, like links to it. But at first it was very tedious. And then it was like I have to keep updating everything. And then it was a bit costly. Like I had to set up my own domain name, all those hosting and stuff. It was very, very technical. And then when I saw Zazzle, I saw there was like a chance to become a designer, and that's when I posted my products, and that was like 2016. But I think I only started with 20 products that time. That was way in 2016. So I think my first product was a T-shirt, because that's what you think about when you see like print of demand companies. Like for me, it's like all I know are like T-shirts and mugs, and that's it. So I posted a few products at that time, and then I just left it there since 2016. I didn't do anything. I didn't even think I was gonna earn from it. But then that's what I found nice about Zazzle that time, because it's free. I didn't have to pay any hosting, no domain, nothing. It's like just free, and if it sells, then great. If it doesn't, it's okay. It didn't really cost anything. So yeah, 2 years after creating that first store, I think I got an email that, hey, you made something dollars from your store. So I just decided to check it out, and then I earned money for 2 years. That's like 100. I think it was less than 100 at that point. $100. That was like early 2018 at that point. So I said, okay, I think this might work. So being the entrepreneur that I am, because that's how I operate. It's like, if I don't know what to do for this type, I have to find other people who knows this so I can learn from them. So I actively search for courses, and that point, that's how I found you guys. It was on YouTube, and then you were the only ones who was offering the course to how to make your products online, how to make your store and everything. And even from your free course back then, I think I earned like an additional $50 for my first month.
Wow.
And that's when I signed up. Yeah, that's when I signed up for your beginner's course. I think it's now the E-Accelerator at that time. And then I said, okay, I know I only made $100 for my first 2 years and $50 for the next. So like being for me, and even in the Philippines, to pay a course in dollars is a big deal for me, because it was, for me, it was expensive. I mean, like, but yeah, it's $1 a month, so it was expensive. So in my thought then, it's like, okay, if I know I'm gonna make the money in 2 years, I could pay off this course, so it's fine. So it's like no cash out for me anyways. But then when I started your beginner's course, it went on from there. And then since you had an advanced course, much more deep level course for that. And at that point, it was also expensive. So, and I was very happy that you were offering it in the payment plan. So it wasn't that hard for me.
Yeah.
And then in my head, it's like, okay, if I'm making this amount of money through time, I could pay it off. And yeah, that's my story.
Well, I love your like the way you calculate things. And you're like, if it's an investment and it's going to work out for me, right? Like you're committed, and I think that's something we forget is that when we put some money into it, then we put like the effort into it as well. And obviously, you were determined to make that money back, right? And in the meantime, you ended up with a really great business. Yeah. What's another question?
You ask another question.
Oh, okay. Well, you had a list. You had a big list.
Well, it was more casual in terms of what Christine, how she came across Zazzle, which she already told us, and then why she likes Zazzle so much.
Yeah,
and
I love Zazzle for that too.
Yeah.
I've never ever paid anything to, like, one time they had a big 70% off, so I got a few of my invitations, but that's it. I've never ordered anything from Zazzle. In the meantime, I've like been paid so much in terms of money back. Like between the two of us, we've been paid out 1.5 million, and Christine's coming close to that. She's getting closer by the day. This is awesome. Yeah, so I love that you don't have to do any of those expenses that Christine came across with her blog, which is, and a lot of effort and upkeep, right? Whereas you put some products up and then even like 2 years later you make money, and it's like, what? Yeah, but now you can make a lot more money if you put some strategy behind it, which is really what Christine's saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I want to ask Christine, how does it feel of owning your own business, like building something of your own?
Yeah.
I'm really proud of what I've done. Yeah. Really proud. Like even my mom, she would tell me, even like my family, they've been, the only business that they know is just more of the traditional one. Like traditionally, you have to wake up really early, you have to physically open your store, and then you have to get ready and take care of the store. At the end of the day, you have to count all your inventory, organizing, clean up the store, and then at the end of the day, you close your shop, and then you go home. So basically, even if you do own a business, it's kind of 9 to 5. Yeah. Like in my case, that's how it is. So to be able to have this business, the only work I need to do basically is in the back end, but like shipping, talking to customers, pasting labels to send out to people, I didn't have to do all of that. It was like, at first it was really like a side hustle for me at the beginning. But then when I told my mom about it, or my family about it, like, hey, I'm earning this much, and I'm earning literally in my sleep, because here in the Philippines, or most of my customers are from the US, so, and people buy during the day. So during the day in the US, it's at night here in the Philippines. So I'm literally earning while I sleep, which is a very, very, very good concept. Very nice. So it's changed my life. Basically, I've been able to help my family a bit more. I've been able to do what I want to do, like traveling, like before COVID. But yeah, I've been traveling a lot more, like for myself, taking care of myself, and of course taking care of my family. So I'm really happy about it. Really happy.
Oh, I'm just like so happy too.
When you first started out on Zazzle, did you think that you would ever get to this point?
Yeah.
Actually, no, not at this point. Maybe at that, if you had asked me before, if for me, that before, when I started with you guys, I think I was already happy, like earning $100 a month. That's like happy, because like that's an extra 5,000 pesos for me, which is like minimum wage. Not even a minimum wage earner would earn here in the Philippines.
Wow.
It's like half. So to be able to receive that, like passive income a month, $100, I'm already happy, so happy. But if you have told me like I'll be earning this much at this point in time in a short amount of time, like 3 years, I would be like, are you sure? But I guess I at that time I didn't really understand the potential of what my Zazzle store would bring me. So it's just unbelievable, like, especially for last year, like with all the things happening around the world. I couldn't even imagine myself earning this much, but I guess it did.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, you're the record holder for the quickest person to get to earning $100,000 in 1 year from our students. Yeah, that's awesome. Like, and it's just a testament to, like, I want to like speak to Christine because we get to know her really well, and all our students as they move into the programs, we get to know them really well. And so I just want to commend Christine because she's like no nonsense. It's like, okay, this has to be done. All right, I'm going to get it done. And I love that attitude. I think that's actually why she's been like our record holder, because she's just not like, there's not a lot of stuff in the background, right? It's just like, this is such a great opportunity. I'm going to take it. And like, let's talk a little bit more about when you do this work, because you work for your parents first during the 9 to 5, like you said, and then you come home and you actually start working on Zazzle. And so everyone, like, the biggest thing for us is everyone always says, oh, I have to work more hours to get that money, to make more money on Zazzle. But we talk to our students and teach our students 20 hours a month. So, and you heard that and you go like, oh, okay, that means I can do it because I already work a full-time job. And so how did you then balance that?
It was, I think I tried to do what I needed to do in my store in moments wherein I know I'm not doing anything for my business. Like, for example, like whenever I travel, like I do commute and stuff, I would listen to your courses. That's one. So at least it's out of my plate. I would listen to your courses like when I'm riding the bus. It's like a 1 hour commute. So I think that's what I did when I took your beginner's course. I was listening or doing stuff in my phone, like maybe researching trends and stuff during the day, like in the moments where I'm not doing anything, like listening to your videos. But then for the Zazzle stuff, like adding products, setting my store up and everything, I try to be efficient as much because I know that I'm not able to give as much time. So I try. That's what's great about your course. That's one thing I love. It's like you have this step-by-step process wherein they actually take us by the hand. This is what you do, step 1, step 2, step 3. And you have to be very efficient about it. And you have to be at least thoughtful about what type of products you want. So that's basically what I did. I tried to post items which I know from my research will sell eventually. So, and as for making time to make my products, I just try to make time. That's basically it. I just make time for it. I know it's not much, but if it's something that I know I could put time for it, like scheduling a part of it, I mean, 20 hours a month. Sometimes I even make less time of that, but it's just basically just scheduling it and not being so stressed about it, like putting time. But if you do make time for it, you just have to be very efficient in what you do.
Yeah. Well, and it's paid off for you. It really has paid off for you, and I love that. I love that you like, because I can get really distracted, even though I'm teaching, doing a really good job. I also get distracted, and so you're like, that's the key, right? Is don't get distracted. This is what I need to do. I have so many hours. Let's get it done.
And I liked how you said, don't get stressed out about it too.
Yeah. So and even like if there are even moments wherein in my head and like, I have to work on this. I have to, because I know it's gonna work. But if your body doesn't want to work, just let it go. Just go to sleep. Just rest.
Yeah.
If I just keep telling myself, okay, it's okay if I just let it go for this time or maybe the next, because I know that I've set my store properly already. Just maybe you can take a break from once in a while, but that's a key. I mean, like you guys, I get distracted. Like even when I create my stuff online, I do get distracted. So, like we've discussed even your course, like how to be effective. Just point by point. So I just take like maybe an hour a day. So which is like really quick to post a few products and shuffle stuff online. But yeah, at the end of the day, it's like just being efficient. If you know what to do, just
Yeah.
stick to it. And then if you have time, then okay. If not, then if your body doesn't want to work anymore, it's fine. At least the important thing is you just set your store properly to work, even though you're not really doing anything on it. Yeah.
Yeah. That's really great advice. Yeah. Because if you build that foundation, and that's what we teach in the course, the Profit by Design Academy. And yep, Christine's definitely set up her store properly. She can take a break. She's also being very modest. She does do, I don't think she takes a break that often. But yes, you're very diligent and very specific. And as I said, I'm really impressed with you because if I had a 9 to 5 job and I came home, I'd rather watch TV or relax on the couch or read a book or something. And you just said, no, I need to get this done too because I can see it's working. And I love that. You're so humble about it because that's really important too. That it's something that you realize is happening now that's working for you, so you're definitely going to keep putting the time and effort into it. And but the fact that you were happy even with the minimum stuff, I think that's where people get stressed out, right? And that's I think where you're talking about what we're really talking about, in that you don't let things bother you. Just try and you just do it and you see what happens, right? And I love that attitude about you. You can tell more about that if you want, but I've seen that in your approach, and I think that's very valuable as well.
Yeah, because I mean that's the main thing why I wanted to do Zazzle was passive, really passive income. So just to have that extra dollars coming in, it was somehow it matches my goal basically. If it's earning online passively, then I'm happy. That's like one of my like mini goals. Like, okay, like it's just a very simple goal. I just want to earn online passively, and if that happens, then you should be happy.
Yeah.
Even how many dollars it is coming in online, like even my first dollar, when I had my first payout, like it took 2 years, but just to get that extra $100, I was so happy, like seeing the money come into my PayPal and spending it finally after 2 years of waiting. So, and if it's gonna happen constantly over time, like even a month or even 2-3 months to get that amount get paid out, it's really passive because I mean that's what's great about that. So like it's free and they're giving you free money because you set it up.
I know.
I like
there was
that.
always like one of the things that we used to say was go back to, do some more work on Zazzle, go print money, because it's true. Like if you do the right things, then people are interested in buying your products that you've got the designs on. And then it is really like free money, right? But it's you're doing like a service for people because you're designing something really cool that they want. And they wouldn't have otherwise found it if you wouldn't have done it. And I think that just takes everything out of the equation in terms of how stressful it could be, or if you're not making money right now on Zazzle. I think it's just that reward for service, and that's what you were doing. You were actually bringing really great products to market. But I like you and I are both, and Jen too. We're all about the passive. Why can we do this right now? Why can we create courses and teach people all this time while our Zazzle businesses are still giving us money? It's because we provided things once, put them online, and they're still working in your business like 15 years later almost, because we've been doing this now for 14 years. Yeah.
Yep.
And so I can't wait to talk to you in 5 years and go see what happens. Because, you don't always have to work that hard on the Zazzle business. We maybe spend 4 hours a month, if that.
Yeah.
And we manage our money. So you're going to get even more passive soon, I think. What do you think?
Yes, I want that. I really want that to happen. But I've learned that it wasn't easy for me. I know for that, for sure. It wasn't easy for me to get into this point because, as you guys know, I am not a graphic designer. I had no design experience whatsoever. So for in the course of the past 2 years, like when I really decided, like, okay, I could really earn from this. I could really, really, really make this into a business. Not a side hustle anymore. No more. I could really make this into a business on of my own while doing the business of my parents. But it was a struggle for me before. Like for one, yeah, I didn't have any design experience at all. I had to really do some self study. I had to search online how to design, like, and it was really helpful for one of your courses before, like design a lens of design boot camp, and then your wedding boot camp. So it was really I really appreciated all the courses because they kind of were bits and pieces of the things what I was struggling with, like design. Okay, you don't know how to design, we have this course to help you to give you a step into it. If you want help, like promoting stuff, then we have all these courses to them, like Pinterest, Instagram. And I didn't know, I wasn't really into social media back then. Like even for myself, like I don't even post anything to Facebook. I didn't even go through Pinterest. But I mean, before it was like, that's since you had an online business, it was kind of a given to promote yourself online as well, which I didn't really had no idea of. So it was kind of helpful. Like even and from your coaching, it was like I was really happy. Like even to the times when I thought it was so hard to do. Like when I asked you guys, it was like a simple answer, and I'm like, yeah, why did I think of that? I think the very first question I was pondering before is like how to make a mock-up, how to make my category buttons in my stores. Like I don't know Photoshop, I don't know how to paint, I don't know Illustrator. That point I was like, okay, what do I do? Just use Zazzle Create. That's simple. Oh yeah, I can do that. So it's like it was such a for me it was a very stressful point, because stressful, not really stressful, but I was thinking for days on how to do stuff. But just being able to ask this question to you guys and just gave a very simple answer, it was like it just blew my mind. Yeah. So yeah, it's like what I needed to hear, like very simply. Like if you think the things are very difficult to go in, like to solve, maybe that's the only thing you should do. Just ask the question,
Yeah.
and someone knows it, and it was that simple. That's it.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So you obviously you've really benefited from our training.
Really, really benefited from it. It's not just the courses. I mean, it was really that's just for me personally. I've taken courses like how to blog. I've taken courses on how to do affiliate marketing, and they were so technical for me. It was very hard to understand. But for your courses, it's like really a beginner's course. It was literally taking you by the hand, and like you're like, it's like you were sitting beside me, and like step one, this is what you do. You put this in. Step two, step three. It was so easy. And even at that point, I was like, yeah, it's like a one-on-one course. Basically, it's like it's so easy to understand, and I see the results.
Yeah.
For me.
Well, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the proof is in the earnings. Oh my gosh, that's awesome. Yeah, that's awesome. And I think that's so really important to understand that you don't need to make it complicated. A complicated thing, you're still doing a complicated thing, but you don't need to have it be complicated for you, right? Like right now, I'm actually doing some work with my taxes, and then I just called my accountant, and it's like, okay, that was easy. But before, like I spent the whole day doing work,
Trying to figure it out,
and
yeah.
and I had papers all over and I was like, I'm having like an anxiety attack. And then I just called the accountant, and she goes, I've already sent it over to the person that needs it. It's like, what? Oh, why didn't I ask already for help with the person that really was going to give me the help?
Yeah.
Right. And so I love that you just talked about that story. Yeah, because that's really cool.
Well, also working online by yourself as an e-commerce entrepreneur, sometimes, and as a Zazzle designer, we're like by ourselves, right? We're on our computer, and sometimes we just feel very lonely, and we're getting in our own head, and we second guess, or we think the design's not the greatest or anything. And so that's why it made me feel so good when you're like, just ask the question, because like just go for it, and you'll probably get the answer, and you don't have to spend hours thinking about it or second guessing yourself. Because that's why we created the courses and why we created this community, is because it's very true. I felt very alone when I was first starting out on Zazzle. I didn't know how to do certain things, and I didn't know who to ask, and there was nobody to ask
there
either.
still isn't anyone to ask. It's just us. But thank goodness we do a really good job, right? No, that was one of the things that we really loved about starting the courses. We were really, really scared because we weren't sure if it would work for other people. Truly, I always just want to make sure that if someone's going to put down money, like you said, it was a lot of money for the course, and I wanted to make sure that people were able to use it and get a lot of something back for sure. And so it was very scary initially, but I'm so glad that we did that, because there's so many people now that are like, their lives have completely changed. They're so much more confident, and they're more, and so I can see it in Christine too. Like she's just like, I've got this.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I guess, as what you said earlier, I think especially what's been happening for the past year, it really just take away for this time. It's not just only the courses; it's also the community, because that's how I feel the same way. So I right now I don't feel alone as much. Like, even though like here in the Philippines, Zazzle isn't that popular yet, or it's not popular. People don't even hear about it. So it's like, I don't know other people are doing it here. So I'm really happy to have this community wherein you know that you're not alone. You have the same struggles, you have the same joys, you have all the same questions. So it's just very uplifting to know you're in this with other people as well, who actually do help you out. Yeah.
Yeah, it's awesome. I'm so glad that you like that too.
Yeah.
And for you, it's even harder, even though like you're in a completely, like, for Christine right now, it's 5:00 in the morning, which is amazing that she's willing to do this and get up that early. But yeah, that's also the thing that we help, is everyone across the world is able to get in touch with us. We do a lot of things in the middle of the night, so that it's not like in the middle of the morning for, others, but Christine is willing to get up at this moment just to do this podcast with us, which is awesome. But yeah, the fact that you're at the other side of the world, time zone irrespective, you have managed to make this work, and it's amazing. It's awesome. Like, congratulations to you for that.
Yeah.
To really have that drive.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. That's also one of the reasons why I wanted to earn something online, because no matter where you are, no matter what time zone you are, as long as you have your computer and internet, then you can just have a business. Because before, I was like, I studied abroad, I even worked abroad, and then even someone told me like, you know what, Christine, I don't think you're gonna leave your business at all, because it's like you're so close to your family, you're so dependent on your business, that maybe it's not even possible for you to start your own business physically, because you're so busy with your family's business. How can you even start your own and just maybe say like, I'm not working for your parents' business anymore. You're working for yourself, like for yourself, for your own business. And that's like one of the reasons why I wanted something online, because like, no matter where I travel, no matter where I want to stay, I just have a business all to myself, and I don't have to set it up. Like, if I decide to, let's say, move to the US or to like Europe, I my business is still working.
That's right.
It's online, and I can just take it anywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's exactly right. Yeah.
And something really resonated with me because I lived in Spain for 10 years. And the reason why I was actually able to do that was because I had this online business I could just pick up and take with me, and like take with me, quote unquote. But the fact that you can create a business, when you said that, your family and friends said, how are you even going to do this because you're working so hard with your family? How are you able to even take the time or effort? You didn't have to actually put too much time or effort into the beginning of it, and you didn't have to invest anything. Like, you didn't have to buy a shop, you didn't have to rent out a space, you didn't have to buy inventory. Like, you could just literally start it that night, and you can make it grow on your own time, right? Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's why I love Zazzle for many, many reasons, but my favorite is that, as you mentioned, you can be working from wherever as long as you have a laptop and internet connection. So you could be traveling, you could be at the beach, you could be, in an airplane even, and if they have internet in the airplane, and you could be working on your business.
Which is possible these days,
Yeah.
Actually, that's what that's exactly right. I mean, we even did that last time we traveled.
Yeah. I mean, when COVID's all gone and done, but
Yeah.
like, we were in the airplane and I was on my computer working on my Zazzle business while I was going over to Australia and New Zealand.
Just before COVID, yeah.
Yep.
I was going to ask too, and I've actually kind of forgotten what I wanted to ask because we got a little bit sidetracked. But like the one thing that I thought was really cool was, when I was doing all the corporate stuff, I realized that there was a ceiling, right?
Oh, yeah.
And so now I'm just wondering, like, are you happy about that? That doesn't, like, you can't get told you can't make this much. You can just do the work, make more products, figure out the market, and then you can make more money if people want to buy it, right? Mm-hmm. Do you like that?
Yeah, I really like that because, other than actually working for my parents, I had worked with a company before back in the US. So, even just getting that set salary, I'm like, okay. So I do empathize with sometimes with people like, okay, so they're only sticking to this daily income wage, like hourly wage. So some people even stay in that job for years. Mm-hmm. So, which is something I couldn't, I knew that it wasn't for me to work for someone else. Well, I'm working with my parents, but that's a different story. But like working for a big company, for another company, all my life, it's to be stuck on a desk or behind the desk. It wasn't for me. So I said, I can't work for anyone. Maybe I'll just work with my parents because I know I'm still kind of the boss here in the Philippines. But it was a different thing because you know that there's only so much that you can do to get a promotion at times.
Yeah.
But if you have your own business, the sky's the limit.
Yeah.
So that was really a limit. Yeah. I can't even imagine reaching a limit when you have your own business.
Yeah.
It's like it just goes up. It's not something that you have to just leave off and not do anything, but you have to, like what we had before, like you have to set the foundation up and actually have it work on its own. But like even like at this point, like having my own business, I know that if I do this amount of work effectively, it's just gonna go up. I don't even know how high up is, but having your own business gives you that option to get there, or that path to get there.
Well, normally people, like, you would equate hours worked for dollars earned, right? You work a certain amount of hours and you get a certain amount of dollars. And at one point, if you wanted to earn the amount of money that you earned last year, you have to equate that to the hours physically put in. And maybe that wouldn't even have been possible for you, right? Like if it was an actual business. And the most amazing thing about Zazzle or any online space with print on demand is that you create a product once and it can sell today, it can sell 10 years from now, it can sell to one person, or it can send to 10,000 people. I have one product that has sold over 400,000 copies. And some of my products that I made in 2010, 2011 are still selling today, and it's 2021, right? And it's just the amount of people that you can reach on the internet. Like, literally the world is your oyster. Like, you have no ceiling, and you don't have to you know, you don't have to cap off your inventory. And if you didn't sell last year's inventory, then your business is done and you have to declare bankruptcy because you literally don't have any physical products, right? You don't have to worry about what's happening in your physical shop or the hours worked or the amount of like, you know, stock or
Salary
inventory or
paid out.
salary.
Just,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's just awesome.
So what's
and what's great about this, like, it's everything's free. I don't have to pay rent.
Yep.
I don't have to pay for employees. I mean, I do have an employee now, like for my VA, but like just to keep it running, I don't have to do anything. If I decide one day it's like I don't want to do anything anymore, it's just gonna be there forever, as long as Zazzle's still working.
Yeah.
But it's gonna be there. Yeah.
Yeah, you can even put it in your will. It's because it's all your copyrighted material. It's yours. It belongs to you. And so any revenue or royalty that comes from that, it belongs to your estate, right? So it's even like, not that we're being morbid, but literally it's like an investment. It really is an investment. It's like stocks that you have actually more control over than just going up and down in the market, depending on what, you know, big names are moving stocks around, or if the latest Reddit people are all moving their, you know, making influences on the marketplace. But yeah, so right now this is such a great business opportunity. Just period. Like if you want to pick a online business. So what's I want your one product that sold the most. What's that? Like, not, you don't have to tell us the design, but like, do you have like a postcard or an invitation, and then what's like a record number for you for like all time?
I think, well, my best selling product, like in terms of sale, is actually a announcement card. And it's a holiday card, but and what's even surprising for me was I only made the product like 2 months before December. And by December, it was like hotcakes.
Wow.
Or hot cards.
Cards.
So,
A hot card.
Hot cards. So it's like, it was a really, really quick design. It's like very basic. So, and that's how I really got hooked before, like even in your courses. Like I remember having during the 7-day course, like the 1 week course, like the beginners course, you can only take the course in a week, and then 2 weeks after I had my first sale from what products I made that week.
Wow.
I don't even think it made like 2 weeks. It just sold. And then from then on, I was like, okay, if that sold quickly, I mean, it's not going to happen for all my products, but for this particular one, it sold. That's why I said, okay, I want to make products like that. And that's how it kept going on and on and on and on and on about it. But yeah, it's just really, you will never know when it sells. That's the thing. If you create a product, you will know it never sells. But well, for me, it was like visual thinking or even positive thinking. It's like, if I like this design, then someone else is going to have it. It's like there's 1 billion people around the world. So it's impossible, like no one's going to buy it or actually like at least the design, because there are a lot of people and you're just one person, and there's a lot more, I think, who wants a design as well. So just put it out there, and then that's it.
I love your attitude. I think it's such an attitude of abundance, and I want everyone who's listening to understand that's one of the really big components. That's also why in our 5 strategies, the 4th strategy is about mindset and goal setting and aligning with your mindset with your goals. It's really, really important to have that positive attitude. And that's what Christine has. Look at that. Yeah. She's just like, just brimming with it. Brimming with it.
I love how you said there's like billions of people on the planet, and
there are.
There has to be at least one person who likes your design, right?
Yeah.
The chances are there.
All right. Yeah.
Exactly. I wanted to ask you, what is your favorite thing out of all your experience, out of your years being with us? What's one thing that you love the most about being in our community or our courses, or just even like talking to us one-on-one? Like, what's your favorite thing?
Like getting to know people, I guess, or even like just talking with you guys, or even like fellow students as well, because like well, personally, I'm kind of an introvert, so I don't really get out as much. So just meeting people, talking to people, like listening to people, it's kind of uplifting for me. And it's been a very positive experience for me. Like, I'm just so happy to meet people, just to talk to people, just to share the same goals with other people. Like, if you talk about Zazzle, like for me, it's like to talk to Zazzle to other people, like other my family and like some of my friends, they'll be like, "What is Christine talking about? What is she talking about?" It's like, yeah, you can earn online, but like to have other people with you in the same journey as yourself, it's like you have all these people behind your back, side by side, in front of you, back you, above you, below you, and just all of you together, just going to one goal. Or not the same goal, but somehow like you want
Doing
to be on
well.
that path with everyone else.
Yeah.
Doing well, yeah.
Yeah, everyone's doing well at their
All
own
to build,
goals.
all to build profitable businesses on their own. But yeah, it's interesting that we're all together. We're all a huge supportive community because that's what we want. That's what we want everybody to be empowered to build their own businesses just like you. So, yeah.
Well, I also love that you're so open and so helpful with everyone. You're so kind, and what we also don't like, we do appreciate your kindness and everything, but we also just make sure that people understand that the reason Christine's doing well is because she followed her own path, and she didn't just sort of see what else someone was doing and go like, okay, I guess I have to do that. It's more like, no, I'm going to serve the customer because that's what we teach, and what do they need and what do they want, and I'll learn what to do to get there. And I think that's the secret as well, because she's feeling worthy of her abilities, even though she's not a graphic designer. She's not this, she's not that, she doesn't have time, but she's just like, okay, I'm going to put my always show up with my A game, right? That's what you do. And I'm so impressed with you about that. And I think that's a big learning to take away from this podcast.
Yeah. Yes.
Any other questions?
And before, I think, if you asked me 2 years before, I'm like, I'm not a graphic designer, but like now that I know that my Zazzle store is working, okay, yes, I am now a designer. I work on Zazzle exclusively, but yes, I already have the guts to say, yes, I'm a designer.
Yay.
So it's,
Well, it's because you did the training, right? And so the Profit by Design Academy, the one that we talk about a lot, is really sort of the latest version of what Christine was talking about with the 7 Days to Success course, which is the beginners, and then the advanced was a different name. I don't even need to tell you. And so together, because it's just too confusing, but the Profit by Design Academy now takes care of everything. So even if you're a brand new beginner, the way it starts out is it says, open up your computer, go to Zazzle.com, open up your first store. And so we take care of anyone who's in that first beginner stage. And if you're really already on the Zazzle platform, you still learn from that first part because you realize, oh my gosh, I've been doing something wrong all this time, and I need to fix it. And it's like, oh, now I know why I'm not doing so well. That's kind of what we hear a lot when we have Zazzle designers who are already struggling on Zazzle for a while and never really get a chance to move forward like Christine did. They realize, oh my gosh, what have I been doing all this time? I should have done this instead, the way you teach it. And so we're really grateful that we can help people in all stages of their Zazzle journey. And but I think the key also, even just with Christine saying that she's not a designer, but there's training within the Profit by Design Academy, several modules that are all about designing. Then she mentioned the elements of design bootcamp and the wedding bootcamp. And they're also really great opportunities for you to get the training you need that's very specific for Zazzle. So I actually want you to tell us a little bit more about that, because you got some graphic design skills elsewhere and you learn how to do Photoshop things, but then to help you get the designs you need for Zazzle, were our courses very specific and helpful in that way?
Yes, it was very, very helpful. And until now, I don't use Photoshop. I don't. So
that's good for you.
I still don't. It's still really technical for me. So I just keep it simple.
Yeah.
That's what I tell myself. Just keep it simple. Just work with what you have.
Yeah.
And you teach us that. You
Yeah.
can just make a design on Zazzle itself. You don't
Yeah.
need a
I love it.
professional program about it. Just if that's what you have, if that's what the only instruments you have, that's the only tools you have, then you just work with it. Work with it. Yeah.
I love it. I love it. Yeah, most of my designs that I made all my money with also come right from just using the design tool. Yeah. And it's almost like having Photoshop now. The design tool is so robust and so like full of really cool features that you can really make something on Zazzle without even needing a graphics design program, really. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, it's just keeping it simple for me. I mean, that's just for me. I just try to keep things simple. And but your courses, like design wise, it has really helped me a lot because like not I mean I tried, well, I did not tried I did like try to search online like how to, like, basics of design, how to like Photoshop. I can't really do Photoshop, it was so technical for me. But but yeah, just your courses helped a lot, just just having the basics.
Yep.
Just the basics, like even just to create an invitation. Before, I didn't know how to make an invitation. The only thing I knew then is just to put like text on a t-shirt, and it was so simple. But like to have that added knowledge, that added skills over time with you guys, it has been really helpful. Like even your mini courses, it has been really helpful. Like even to this point, like I've been with you guys since 2018, and I still learn something new. And it's really up to date what's happening all over the world, or even before COVID happened. But it's an evolving course, so something like that. Like
Yeah.
the community is evolving, and we're not just sticking what used to work before. We use what it worked before, but with what's happening, we evolve somehow. Yeah.
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 Well, I like how you've said that because Zazzle truly is a long-term business. Like, if you're watching this and listening to Christine here, she's just been so helpful. I'm really thankful. But it's not a get-rich-quick scheme, but you're building a really long-term passive online business, and it also means that we, as people who are teaching and helping people on the Zazzle platform, need to be that committed to you, to be there for so long with you. So that's why we have communities where we have a membership and we have the different courses. And as Christine said, when things change, we make another course that works, to help figure out what's going on now. Like when COVID hit, we had to pivot. So we right away had a pivot guide set up. In the next month, in April, we released a pivot guide in our membership, and that just helped people so much to take away the stress of knowing what to do, but just following the steps and implementing things. And I'm sure that helped your $100,000 in 2020 with that pivot guide.
Definitely.
And that was and that was in the membership. That was in our profitable membership. And we do our best to try and keep you abreast of things and to help you along when things get nasty, like with COVID. That just switched around everything, but it turned out to be a really good year for our community, whoever took advantage of our training.
Yeah. Well, I just wanted to say too that what we've done with our courses and our membership, we've evolved, especially throughout the last year. We've done a lot more Zoom calls. We're a lot more personal with our students. And then with Christine too, you mentioned you've been with us since 2018, and each year you've had different interactions with us, from one course that's the beginner's course to now being actually one of our masterminds, which is awesome. And it's
our
just
one-on-ones now.
Yeah. And it's an evolving process, and it's not like a course that you take and it's like, okay, now you've learned how to make an omelet, or, now you know how to do home decor or create your bookshelves or something like that. It's a process that keeps going, and you have to keep yourself, always evolving and learning. You are creating a passive online business that will work for you in the future. But if things happen, especially because we're in the e-commerce space and like people's buying habits changed or COVID influences things, we have to learn how to implement certain strategies into our business, and we're always there for our students that way. Because it's just an amazing thing. Like I am so blown away out of the water that Christine was able to make that amount of money in 2020 in like plain COVID, $100,000. And if anybody knows, like 10% royalty means that she sold over $1 million worth of Zazzle products. Like, mind blown.
I have to do the snap snap. Our community knows about the snap snap, which means like that just says everything. It says like awesome, amazing, go for it, girl. That's all. Like it's all the like yes, awesome. Yeah. And I'm really truly happy for you that you did that. What do your like family members think about that? Since you thought that $130 was a good amount of money.
Well, for one, my mom is really happy. She's really happy for me. She's very supportive. So like there would be nights wherein she was like, "What are you doing so late?" "I'm doing my Zazzle. I'm printing money. I'm taking your coat. Like, I'm printing my money." Okay, then she just she's been very supportive. So even for like my sister, she came into I introduced her into Zazzle because she like for her, she moved to the US. So at that point, like she went into the US during COVID. So she can't really find a job. Like, so she just did her Zazzle. She started her own Zazzle store. Like even from the beginner's course, she was already making money for it. And she's really happy for it. Even though she's not really working out as much. Like, because like same as me, she's not a graphic designer. She never was. Or we both are. We're not very creative. Even I think she's even more creative than me. But she's really happy, like at least for the time that she's learned from you guys. She's earning like, and I hope that she's gonna even do better soon, or even take her more advanced courses. But yeah, for now, just the basic stuff. She's already seen the results and she's already happy with that. So and I'm trying to encourage other people that too, like especially with things happening now. I've kind of accepted that side hustles now online are a relatively better business than the traditional ones. Like we've seen people lose their jobs, like businesses are going out. But that's why it was so surprising for me even to earn that much money in 2020 during when COVID hit the most. So in Zazzle, side hustles, you can make side hustles into big business.
Yeah.
I love it.
Amazing.
You're empowered. I love it. Well, that's a really good way to end this. Do you have one last thing to say to anyone who is watching and listening as advice for if they're just starting out on Zazzle or struggling with Zazzle?
Well, Zazzle has been a game changer for me, but not just saying that because I've been selling, but just to have that idea that it is possible. Like it is possible to earn online, and that's the only thing. Like if you're down, like I'm not earning, I don't think it's moving too fast, but just to know that it's possible and to be able to know that other people, like real people, are actually earning or making money from this, that just keep that mindset, I guess. Just it's possible and it's doable. And if you don't know how to get there, or it's like you're still confused on how to get there, just ask. That's the only thing. Just ask. They don't bite, but just
Perfect.
Oh no,
Thank you, Christine,
awesome.
for sharing your story with us and talking with us. It's been such a wonderful time to hear. And like,
we
actually,
could keep talking.
I know,
You're just, I love hearing your story.
Yeah. Okay, but for everybody who's listening, thank you so much for listening to this episode of the Creative and Ambitious Entrepreneur Podcast. And then also, if you're watching on YouTube, thank you so much for watching us. And then also meeting Christine finally in person and talking with her here on our episode of the podcast.
Yeah, you're record breaking all around. This is our first interview ever on our podcast, so you've always got that as well. And you've been such a gracious guest, and so thank you so much for just talking with us and opening up and sharing all the personal things with us. It's going to inspire so many people, and you're going to just like the way she what's the advice? Just be positive and ask. And it's like, oh my gosh, she's just so true to herself, and I think that's what really is a big credit to you. And thank you so much for sharing your wonderful story with us.
Yeah. So
thanks for having me. Yeah.
You're welcome. All right. So thanks for watching, and we will see you in the next episode. Bye.
Bye.
Okay.